What's good? Welcome back to another edition of Dat Talk Podcast. I go by the name of Bacon. I got my co-host with me.
He's back. Playoff reasons. He was live and direct for basketball season. Okay. Playoff reasons is here, live and direct for football season. It would have been good to have my weak team in the playoffs, but they're at home watching, which they deserve to be. They need to see how good football is played. Hopefully, John Gruden pay attention.
Facts. So, but we got a special guest in the building, man.
Ooh, special guest.
We got our brother in the building, man. Another Fresno State alum in the building, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Football alum in the building. On, bro. I can go on, man. We didn't have relationships with the dang girls all in it. We didn't been through it. Bro.
It's a pleasure. I appreciate y'all for having me. You know what I'm saying? It's just us linking up like this, you know, it's always love, man. And y'all can see, you know, through the years, we still stay connected. You know what I'm saying? It don't make no difference.
Yes, man. Good to have our boy Dustin, man. Part of the playoff prediction show, man. We still gonna do the end of the year, but we gonna hold off on that. But today we talking about playoffs, man. The playoffs. We got some good games today. Not today, but this weekend. They're doing the first time ever. Playoff mania. 3-day triple
headers.
Triple header
Sunday.
Woo, man. It's gonna be good. So we got our boy Dustin here to help us with some of these playoff predictions. We're all gonna be putting in our predictions, and y'all already know. You thought I was gonna forget. This man thought I was gonna forget. Oh my Lord. Hey. Talk that talk nation, man. Y'all looking at the reigning, defending new. What you mean? We about to do the playoff one. We doing the playoff one, so I'm still gonna be defending something. You know what I'm saying? I am the first Talk that talk regular season NFL champion. I beat this so-called Reasons who knows everything. I told y'all. What I tell y'all, chat? I told y'all when we was tied, I said 24-24. I said, I'm about to get on my cap and I'm going to win the rest of these games. And what happened? I got on my cap and I won the rest of those games. So you looking at Champ Bake right here, a.k.a. Urono Guru. Champ Bake.
Hey, yo, speaking of champs, since we talk about champions, I just want to shout, you know, I just want to pat myself on the back, you know, second, you know, fantasy league champion here, you know what I mean?
Okay.
You know, since we talk about champions, you know, I mean, it's two of us up top, you know what I mean? Like,
I know, I'm sorry.
Celebrate.
It's fitting right. You at the bottom right now. You got too many
just by circumstance.
You got place right there for my God. God said, hey, Reasons at the bottom. I ain't saying I don't love you, bro. I'm just letting you know we number one right now.
See, technically, that's BS because
just what happens.
With real life knows I belong at the top. So on my screen, I'm right where I need to be, baby. Right where
perception is everything.
I know, right?
My screen.
I hear you.
I'm right where I need to be. So I'm good. I mean, I ain't tripping. Y'all screens tell one story.
Yeah.
My screen tell the real. So
okay.
I get it.
It tells you the real one.
I get it.
I feel you. Hey, but it's good to have y'all here, brothers, man. We have some crazy news. We're gonna get into that after because we ain't gonna talk about all that nonsense and some good stuff out of that nonsense. You know, there's a blessing in every lesson. You get what I'm saying? But let's get into these playoffs, man. What's popping on Saturday? Let's start with Saturday, man. Let's pick out some games. Let's pick out the 3 games on Saturday. We got our man Dustin here, so he's a special guest. We're going to get that man the floor to pick out the first game on Saturday. How you feeling? Who you think going to win? Why you think they going to win? And who's going to be a main key factor for that, man?
Okay. So, as we were saying pre-show, you know, it's some tricky games in the mix.
Right.
Saturday, I'm gonna just start top to bottom. We got the Colts and the Bills. I personally, Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, that crazy defense top to bottom. I mean, you got the boy on the outside, Tre'Davious, locking them down. But I think it's going to honestly come down, just because the Colts have a great secondary, it's going to end up coming down to the Bills establishing the run game, using the run game to open up the pass game. It's going to be important for Zach Moss to get started. Granted, I mean, they do highlight Devin Singletary as their number one back, but Zach Moss is usually the bruiser that gets in there and gets it going. So they're going to have to keep running the rock to establish the run game just so that can open up the pass game. I think Josh Allen has been playing lights out for the last month, really. You know what I mean? He's been real consistent. So I think it's going to come down to them just having a balanced offense and the defense, forcing Phillip Rivers to make mistakes, which we all know he does.
Yes,
his history with the Chargers, he's prone to throw some picks, you know what I'm saying, or just make a bad mistake. Following that up, we got the Rams and Seahawks.
Oh, wait. We'll go around. We're going to just go around.
Oh, we're going to go around? My bad.
Yeah, no, you good.
No, that was good. That was real good. That was real good. That was some good key points right there. I like that, man.
That was great. Astute. We got to use big words now that I graduated.
Okay.
Great astute analysis. I like that.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna follow that up. So I'm guessing. Oh, you didn't say who you got winning that game.
No, I said I got the Bills.
You got the Bills.
Do you have a score? What is you have a score to go along with that?
Only because you asked. I'm gonna go 34-21.
Ooh.
34-21 Bills.
Okay.
So with me, I'm going Bills also.
Okay.
With me, I'm gonna keep it simple for the Bills.
Okay.
Diggs, and Mo Diggs.
Okay.
I feel like you gotta they gotta feed that man. The Colts don't really have a guy. You feel me? Because the Colts are a real cover 2 heavy team, a real zone heavy team. So Diggs is going to be able to move around without being shadowed by like a quote unquote number one corner. It's going to take the Colts more of a team effort. I do agree that the Bills' run game needs to show up. That lightning and thunder combination between Singletary and Moss should be helpful. But we all know, man, the playoffs, it comes down to quarterback play.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at recent Super Bowl winners just when you look at the thing, quarterbacks winning. You got to think about Joe Flacco and the run he had when they won the Super Bowl. Eli Manning and the run he had when they run the Super Bowl. Nick Foles recently and the run he had when they run the Super Bowl. So I feel like if Josh Allen really wants to separate himself, he's got to do his thing. And on the defensive side for the Bills, they got to control that rushing attack. You brought up Phillip Rivers. And one way to really hamper Phillip Rivers is take away his run game. When you look at his past with the Chargers and all that stuff, teams that was able to stifle LaDainian Tomlinson and then Michael Turner later on down the line, those teams, that's why Phillip Rivers never really won. Because that running game to get to going, he couldn't play action and do all that good stuff. So as long as the Bills feed Diggs, stop the run game, I got the Bills 28-20.
28-20. Even tighter.
We was on the same page. I felt like we was thinking at the same time, because I also said that it's going to be a JD connect. Okay, Josh to my man Diggs. They're going to have to figure out a way to get him the ball and use the run game to establish the pass game. But I, like you said earlier, reasons I really feel like if you take away the run from Phillip Rivers, that you make him make more mistakes. Phillip Rivers has shown time and time again, when he just can only pass the ball, he's bound to throw a couple of picks. It's just proven in his history. That's why he ain't never won a Super Bowl, because he always find a way to make the biggest mistake of the game. Okay, and so that's what I have. I have the Bills defense is going to take away the run and make Phillip Rivers beat them, and I don't think Phillip Rivers is going to be enough. And I'm going with the Bills 28-21. That's what I had.
That's
what I had. So moving on, we have the Seahawks. I take the lead on this one. The Seahawks, and then we go in that order. We got the Seahawks and the Rams. This game, This was hard, but it wasn't hard. The reason why I say it was hard because I don't know the health of my man Goff. We already know Goff sometimes can be off. We just know that. That's just it's
Goff can be off.
Goff, just take the G off his name, huh?
And Goff can be off. Let's just be 100. I don't know what that thumb is gonna be like. They said, you know how the media do it. They saying the man is throwing the ball like he ain't never had no injury to the thumb, but that's the media. The media is good with getting you to persuade to bet and think that one way is gonna work out, but it really don't work out. And I think this is gonna be a battle of defense. I really feel like this. Yeah. These are two of the most stifling defenses in the NFL. When they're on, they're hard to score. They're hard to drive the ball. So I'm just going to go with a defensive battle. And I think Russ, even though he's been struggling, Russ has been struggling. And I haven't heard of Metcalf. I haven't been seeing Metcalf. I haven't been seeing nothing about Lockett. I haven't been hearing a lot about these players that he has and these weapons that he has. But I think Russ is going to figure it out, and they're going to edge. Well, not edge, but they're going to beat the Seahawks because I think their quarterback play is going to be a little bit better than the Rams quarterback play. And we know when the Rams ain't getting no points on the board, they defense kind of give up. They just kind of take their tails in the butt and said, I'm done. So I'm going with the Seahawks 24-14. That's what I got.
Okay.
Go ahead, DP. Like Go ahead and follow that up.
24-14.
What score you at, Bake? Hold on.
24-14.
24-14. All right, I'm just adding these to my notes. You feel me? Just make sure. Keeping track of these things.
So I do want to piggyback off what you said, Bake, in terms of how it kind of seems as though the Rams kind of fizzle out. You know, it's like they get the wind knocked out of them as they see they often struggle. One thing that's going to really be tough for the Rams to do, given the stinginess of that Seahawks defense, is get Cam Akers started on the ground. Like between him, Cooper Kupp, and Robert Woods, it's going to take them, the three of them, on top, you know, of course, and Goff, to really get that offense going. I do believe in my notes here, you know, I did put that Cooper Kupp and Woody gonna have that, between the two of them, somebody gonna have to have a day. And Woody has a history in the last few years of really making the Seahawks defense look silly. It's kind of I don't know if I'm sure it's a scheme thing that Sean McVay looks into. When it comes to Woody versus these Seahawks defenses, he puts them into a lot of different positions that just get him the ball, whether that's jet sweeps, whether he's in the backfield taking handoffs, direct handoffs, or, you know, he just getting the ball in the open field and making something happen. I do have the Rams upsetting the Seahawks in this one, but it's by a real close margin because, like y'all said, that Seahawks defense has been nutty. But their weakness is their corners. Their corners are the weakness of this defense. We know their safeties are playing really well. I like what what's his name? DJ Reed is doing at the nickelback position for them. Coming off injury and coming over from the 49ers, he done kind of reinvented himself. You know, still being a young guy, he's reinvented himself in that Seahawks defense. They kind of found a home. So I think it's like I said, it's going to take them playmakers on that Rams offense to really get them going. On top of, you know, their defense just playing lights out, full throttle the whole way through. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what's going on with the offense, because like we said, Goff does have a tendency to kind of either ball all the way out or he kind of becomes mistake prone when he's in them big games, as we've seen over these last few years with him being with the Rams organization. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go Rams, and I'm gonna say this is a 17-21 type of deal.
I like that though. I like that. Shout out to my boy DJ Reed too, man. He went to Fresno State. He was one of my students, man. Rock with him, man. I remember when he said, "Hey, man, I can't do it. I want to go to community college." And he ended up going to community college, went to K-State, and now he in the NFL, man. So hey, pursue your dreams, y'all.
Doritos College alum, man. He did it.
He did that. He did that thing, man. What you got for us, Reasons?
Well, you know me, man. I'm gonna go Seahawks.
Okay.
Fair enough.
It's hard for me to pick the Rams just based on not knowing Goff. And even though Walford had a good story last week, that story will get ended real soon this week. That's just kind of how.
Shout out to him though, man. He got in there and did his thing.
Shout out to Walford.
He did his thing.
The Vanderbilt quarterback who never won it. He said in his press conference, they said, "So how's it feel to win?" He said, "I've never won before, so I'll let you know next time I win again." So, shout out to him. Shout out to him and coming through and getting this team to the playoffs. But with me, my two biggest things for the Seahawks is they got to protect Russ. They got to protect him. He can't be sitting back there getting beat up and bullied by Michael Brockers and Aaron Donald and Floyd. Like, you got to protect the man. He don't need to be back there running for his life, because usually when they play the Rams, Russell Wilson is probably averaging 200 yards of scrambling, and that's not even going forward. That's
lateral.
Trying to figure out to make sure he ain't getting suffocated by Aaron Donald. And then, Bake, you mentioned something where you said these receivers got to show up. DK, if he wants to put himself into that upper echelon, this is when you make your name. I was watching NFL Live today, and Keyshawn Johnson had DK as one of his performers of the week. And he said, for the most part, DK likes to stretch the field. He's a big-time receiver, but he has to win at the intermediate level. Right. He has to be able to win some slant routes against Jalen Ramsey, some deep digs, some post corners. He has to, because Jalen Ramsey's too good for you to be a one-dimensional receiver.
Facts.
When you're one-dimensional, he's going to lock you up and we don't want to hear from you. That's just what Jalen Ramsey's about. That's what he is. And so if Jalen Ramsey's having a good day against DK, then like you also said, Bake, Tyler Lockett has to become a factor. You feel me? And so my two things with them is protect Russ. DK needs to show up, and they got to continue to play that great defense that they've been playing. Jamal Adams said he's in, even though he had the little shoulder injury. And
he's going to play.
Yeah, and so I think they need to dial it up, come after Goff or come after Walford. Don't sit back and be the bend but don't break defense. I feel like they need to change that up. And I got the Seahawks winning 23-10. Because the last game they won was 20-9. So I'm going to give them 23-10.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
I like the analysis.
Yeah, I do. So Regis, you got the third game. So you got
Bucks.
Oh no.
Washington football team.
Oh man. So at first I was like, did I want to make this my upset? It
has the characteristics of being that.
Yeah.
Do I want to go on that limb and make this my upset? And then I thought about it. I said, I can't do that. Because I got the Bucks in the Super Bowl.
Whoa.
That has been my Super Bowl.
Did he really say that?
That has been my Super Bowl prediction team since they have assembled like the Avengers.
Wow.
Since they have assembled. They're more like Justice League, my boy.
I mean, hey, they got some Justice League. I felt like they was a little Justice League-ish. But after I look at the last 4 games, even though they ain't played nobody but the Falcons twice,
we just pretty much gave up after the second time we played it. But the first game, we had that game in the bag. We was up by 20-something.
Yeah. But anyway,
now Ryan was having flashbacks from the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I couldn't go against the Bucks because, again, I got them in the Super Bowl.
That's crazy.
That's just
that's wild.
I got them. I don't want to be the.
You just surprised us with that.
Yeah, that was.
Because I don't want to be the guy. I don't want to be the guy when you look back at the history of the show and I was all in on the Bucks, and now it's time. I'll be like, well, things have changed.
Because Bake gonna play. He gonna make a little cut up, and he gonna put that. He gonna play that.
Yeah, he gonna play that. Do that. I was ready. I was ready.
I don't want to. Like, if they don't make it, then it's okay. Like, I just want to stay true to my word. You feel me? I got to stay true to who I am.
That's respectable.
So I got the Bucks winning. I'm going to give my score 31-13.
Whoa. 31.
Yeah, 31-13. I saw today that Alex Smith may not play. And then the backup, I can't even think of the backup name right now.
Tyler Heineke.
Yeah.
Old Dominion University.
Listen.
Yes.
Only thing Heineke that's cool is a Heineken. And since he ain't going to be serving them up, they ain't going to win. It was cute when Chase Young said that he wants Brady and all that good stuff.
He said it was cute.
I mean, Brady's the least sacked quarterback in the league this year. So you can want the man, but getting to the man is a colder thing. Like, I feel like Tristan Wirfs should take that personal. That the guy you're going to be blocking is basically saying you're irrelevant because I'm going to go get Brady. So I think Tristan Wirfs going to take that personal. Protect Brady. As long as they protect Brady, I feel like they're going to eat and get up early. And because Washington lacks weapons outside of Scary Terry, I feel like this is going to get out of hand second quarter, halftime-ish, 31-13 Bucks.
Okay.
31-13 Buckies.
What about you, D? What you think?
Sonny?
Yeah. What you thinking?
Got a little something to counter him with.
Counter. Oh, okay.
So we know Thomas Brady is gonna, do his damnness to ignite his Buccaneers into the playoffs.
Facts.
I get it. I understand, it's questionable if Alex Smith is going to play or not. I think, just if any football player, you got some dog in you and you're coming out of a situation that he just, was able to bounce back from, he going to play. Like, at least he's going to start the game. Whether he finished the game or not, that remains to be seen.
Facts.
But I think he will end up playing. And what we have to acknowledge with this Thomas Brady offense is his lack of performance under pressure. His O-line has been very subpar. So granted, we know his capabilities behind a great line, but with this mediocre line, essentially in those particular moments where Tom Brady's supposed to power up and be Tom Brady, he hasn't had the opportunity to because he hasn't really had the time. And then not even just speaking offensively, their defense has fallen off from what they started off at. I mean, where's Carlton Davis been at? You know what I'm saying?
And Auburn still?
I believe, I believe Shaq Barrett is going to play this week. Who else? The rookie, number 31, can't think of his name right now. But
Winfield Jr.?
Safety, Antoine Winfield Jr. I mean, he's been doing this thing out there, you know what I'm saying? They just really, their defense is kind of like, they start off hot and then they start to just kind of fizzle and be mediocre and then need Tom Brady to win them games. I mean, like you said, they played Atlanta these last couple of weeks, almost lost to Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? I literally turned the game off thinking Atlanta had won the game. Like, I was like, yeah, this is over with. To find out later that evening that the Buccaneers won.
You can't turn off an Atlanta game when they win it. You can't do that.
You're right.
You turn off when we play the Raiders. You turn off when we play the Raiders, though. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
The whole game.
So it's like, I mean, that Washington football team defense is stingy, bro. It is stingy. They not a top-ranked defense for nothing. And the crazy thing is, regardless of how their offenses have been playing, no matter who's at quarterback, their defense has been consistent. It has been consistently well. With the exception of week 1, their defense have been playing exceptionally well. And I think that's honestly what it's going to come down to for them. Because like I said, we don't know if Alex Smith is going to play through the whole game, if it's going to be Heineke. But the key to this game is going to be that football team defense. I mean, they secondary, that D-line, Chase Young going crazy, Montez Sweat going crazy, them 2 interior tackles. If they can get that pressure on Tom Brady, it's going to be a close game. So I got football team winning.
I was hoping he was saying all these great superlatives, and I'm like, you better be picking Washington.
I got football team winning, and I'm gonna go with the score of 17-14.
Wow. So, the Bucks have been averaging about 40 points these last 4 weeks. They have been going bonkers on offense. So you mean to tell me the football team is going to hold Thomas Brady, Antonio,
20 points.
Godwin, Gronk, and them along?
Don't know if Mike Evans is going to play.
Like you just said, if you got any kind of dog in you, you're going to show up and play.
You go facts.
So they going to be held to 14?
That's crazy.
The Washington football team going to give them 14 because their offense is trash.
Wow.
but that's the humdinger right there. That defense the defense knows, bro. The defense knows this. And then not to count out Antonio Gibson in the backfield. That dude has been running the rock like crazy. Then you got what's the other buddy name? Number 41. He's I believe he's leading the league in catches out the backfield for running backs. So they got
McKissick.
Yeah, JD McKissick. So those factors on top of Terry McLaurin, can't nobody on that secondary cover him. Terry McLaurin. But the thing about it, and as we saw against this Eagles team last week with the Redskins, Alex Smith got to get the ball out. Alex Smith got to get the ball out. And it's been working. The only thing that they couldn't do in that game against the Eagles was really establish the run game. I mean, Antonio Gibson, he broke for a couple, you know what I'm saying? But against this Bucs games, one is playoff football. So all gas, no breaks, all gas. So I see the Skins getting it. I mean, the football team getting it done.
Hey, man, remember during the basketball show where our guy Mark came out with these crazy random predictions?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and did not one of them upsets happen, right? Neither upset he predicted happened.
Only thing he predicted that got right really was the Miami game.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Yeah, Miami making it to the finals. But he predicted the Nets to beat the Raptors.
Yeah, he did.
Then the Mavericks to beat the Clippers.
Yeah,
Dustin out here going crazy. The football team beating the Bucks. Go ahead, baby.
Football team beating the Bucks.
All
17-14.
Okay. It's my little broski. So I gotta talk some sense into him right now.
Talk to him.
I'm not knocking him for wanting to choose an upset, but this ain't the upset I feel like he should have chose. Because I'm not even a Buccaneer fan. I'm just going to be a realist. I'm not a Buccaneer fan at all, but I got to be a realist. Now, I agree with DP when he came up and talked about Washington defense. They are the number 2 defense in the league when it comes to yard allowed. They are right behind the Los Angeles Rams. Okay, so they do have a superior defense, but if their defense is not producing, they don't score no points. That's going to be their issue. You cannot be on the field as long as they're going to be on the field this Saturday. And I'm kind of disappointed that the NFL chose to make this game the last game of the day, which should be the first game of the day. Tom Brady. I don't like the man because he took something precious away from me. Something that we may not ever get back to, something that we may not ever win. He took a Super Bowl from me. And I'm going to tell you right now, even though Chase and all these people, they got the defensive line, they put pressure on him. That offensive line, after hearing what Chase said, it's going to step into another gear because you didn't boil some water that you wasn't even supposed to boil. Okay, you trying to cook some noodles that's already cooked already, so you're trying to overcook. And now the Tampa Bay offensive line are going to be on a swivel. They're going to be ready for Chase, doubling Chase, and even though they got another rusher, they're not going to worry about him, and they're going to get the ball out quick. That's what Tom Brady does. Get the ball out quick. And I don't know if Mike Evans going to play, but they got enough weapons to get the ball too. So I think the Bucs, I don't even think this game going to be close. I think the Washington football team, not even having Alex Smith, if you got a bruise calf Alex Smith and you got a Heineken, whatever the man name is, playing backup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, yo, you may score 2 touchdowns. 1 touchdown may be early, but then the last touchdown ain't gonna matter. And I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning 28-13. Easy peasy. They're going to get up out of it. I think the Redskins, not the Redskins, but the football team is going to play the best defense they can play in the first half, but it's going to get out of hand. It's going to get out of hand so quick because they're not going to put up points. And any defense you are, I don't care who you are, if you're not putting up points, you ain't going to be able to cover somebody for that long. I'm telling you right now, and they got a lot of weapons, and I think the Bucs is going to make this game easy. I just wish it was the first game, and I wish the Bills and the Colts game was the last game. I really do. I don't want to see no Buccaneers versus the football team for the last day on Saturday. That, you know what they did? They said, hey, man, it's Saturday night. Ain't nobody going to watch. That's what they did. It's Saturday night. Even though we dealing with the COVID-19, ain't nobody going to watch that game. Ain't nobody going to watch. Just put it on. Just put it on at 5 o'clock. Ain't nobody going to watch that game.
They probably, this is a wild guess, but you know, the Bills playing in New York, it get hella cold. So they probably didn't want it to be a super cold game out there in Buffalo. So,
man, I would have loved to see that though. I would have loved to see that. But now we on a Sunday, man. We coming back to the top. We coming back to the top.
Real quick though.
Sunday.
Fun fact. Thomas Brady has never won a wild card game. Moving on.
This is true.
That's tough. But I think today it's going to be the first time he ever.
Yeah. I mean, because he playing against. I don't see Thomas Brady losing to a 7-9 team.
You got to understand who he playing to. You got what I'm saying?
If he was 7-9,
exactly.
7-9. When you listen, I don't give a damn how good your defense is supposed to be.
You 7-9.
You was on the brink of letting the Cowboys in because your team is just overall just not that good yet. But they right there. I don't feel like Washington should be slept on because that defense is only going to get better. They're only about to add pieces to that secondary and to that linebacker
and then they're going to have to get a quarterback. I mean, shout out to Alex Smith and what he overcome, but they're going to have to get a quarterback.
They need it.
Yeah, and it's going to be some quarterbacks available, the Sam Darnolds of the world. It's going to be some guys that they could possibly go get to go do something. So, yeah, Right. So, DP, man, I'm going to hit you with the game because I feel like the game that we really going to talk about will be the Titans-Ravens. So, we're going to say that one for last.
Facts.
What is your take on Saints-Bears? What you got, Saints-Bears?
Saints-Bears.
I'm going to start with my winner, Saints.
He got some sense again, babe.
I had to talk a little bit into him, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So and the reason, and it's kind of obvious with them going against the Bears and just seeing how the Bears have just been playing ball over this season. One, I'll start in the backfield. Mitch Trubisky has been up and down. You know, as of late, yes, he has played well, but they haven't played nobody. And then you got his starting running back, Montgomery, back there, who I feel is still trying to find his footing in terms of, you know, just developing into a better runner in the NFL. He's been a bit inconsistent. And, you know, they mixed Cordell Patterson back there. You know, they released Lamar Miller. He never got his opportunity to play. You know, it's just been a lot of moving pieces in that backfield. And there hasn't really been very much consistency. And then, because, I mean, aside from that, their receiving core is solid. You know, they are a cool little young receiving core led by Robinson. Then you got the rookie Mooney in there. And then you got a couple other pieces that they get their job done. You know what I'm saying? They scrappy. They're not a prima donna group. You know, they're not real flashy or nothing like that, but they get it done. And then on the flip side, defensively, in terms of on paper, they got a hell of a defense. I mean, you know, in terms of just the bodies they got on defense, but I think that the only way they can make this a close game is putting that pressure on Drew Brees. If you put that pressure on Drew Brees, force him to make quick decisions, you know what I'm saying? He likes throwing that slant. He likes to throw that wheel out to the running back in the backfield. If you catch him in those situations where he's throwing those balls late or he's throwing those balls inaccurately and you have an opportunity to force a turnover, then that's where it's going to get a little tricky for the Saints. But I think overall, that Saints defense is stingy as hell. They're going to get in there and get it done. Their run defense is, if I'm not mistaken, top 5. And then they got Cameron Jordan. And then number 91, whose name I cannot pronounce, is up there with, I think 12 sacks, right there tied up with Aaron Donald. So they defense is nasty, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the Saints going to grab this one with an easy 34-14.
Ooh.
Okay.
When he picks scores, boy, he either real close or real far.
Yeah.
Ain't no in between.
Like. That boy DP is not. He ain't about the. It's either this gonna be a close game or ass whooping.
Straight like that.
So who you got, Reason?
I got the Saints. Also, I feel like they got to establish the run game better than they did the first time they played each other. Remember the first game they played, it was a little scuffle. So I wonder, how that's going to, little scuffle, a little rough. You feel me?
And to your point, that nickelback they got he's up there with the nickels in the league, man. Like they not playing with them boys. Like they not.
So, like I said, I like the Saints. They got to get the running game going a little better than they did the first game, because you got to be able to. Drew Brees needs short yardage passing situations. Right now, Drew Brees is not the same Drew Brees of old, where you asking him to really stretch the field how he used to do during his MVP runs and his 5,000-yard seasons and all that kind of stuff. He's more short to intermediate right now. Hopefully Mike Thomas is healthy enough to play, which all signs point to that.
This whole 15 minutes thing.
Sorry about that.
I'm like, who interrupted? Oh, we got
Mike Thomas. He said, "Hey, sorry about that, but I'm ready." He just
So I feel like, as long as Mike Thomas can play, gives him another element. Because I don't think he played in the first meeting, or he was just getting back the first time they played, which a game that went in OT. So it's not like the Bears is a bad matchup for the Saints. I just feel like the Saints can't get to another first round and lose. Last year, they was the pick to beat the Vikings and lost. The year before that, they was the pick to beat the Vikings. Oh, no, the pick to beat the Rams and lost. And then the year before that, they was the pick to beat the Vikings and lost. So they can't keep losing as the favorite. Like, I feel like that's going to be a real down thing on Brees and Peyton's career as they go. And as long as they can stop this newly found Bears run game, because over the last 4 games, the Bears have been rushing over 100 yards a game. Montgomery has been eating. It, like you said, he's starting to kind of figure out his footing, and that run game has gotten better. But, the Saints do have a top rush defense. And so with that, I got the Saints 24-10.
Okay. I get what both of y'all were saying. But here's the thing. The first game when they played, they had Nick Foles. Now, we didn't know. I told you Nick Foles was going to get hurt, and he ended up folding, okay? Nick folded and got folded, all right? So now we got Trubinsky, a.k.a. Why Can't You Hit Me? He can't throw the ball unless the man is all the way open. Okay, he had the opportunity, and I told you this, Reasons. I told you this last week. I said this is the opportunity for Trubinsky to be bigger than a LaMonica Lewinsky. All right, but now, now, after seeing him only putting up 13 points against the Green Bay Packers and not even winning the game, getting in the playoffs because of somebody else lost. I'm going to tell you right now what's about to happen, all right? The Saints is going to run the dog crap out of the Bears. They ain't even supposed to be there, all right? What's that? Nobody supposed to be here. No, the Bears ain't supposed to even be in the playoffs, all right? It's going to be quick, fast, in a hurry. The Saints are going to win 31-16. Drew Brees is going to look like the Drew Brees of, don't knock the man yet. The man threw almost for 3,000 yards, and he didn't even play a full season, and he already threw for 3,024 touchdowns and only 6 interceptions. What quarterback can do that? Don't even play the whole season and put up numbers like that. That lets you know the man still can go out there and ball. And Drew Brees has been balling. I don't know what games y'all been watching, but the games I've been watching is Drew Brees is getting back to his gold days where he can put the team on his back and win games because he got something to prove. Everybody's saying he washed up, but he ain't washed yet, all right? You know how your dirty clothes is stinking, and you need to wash them up? He ain't washing them yet. He said, nah, let them stink a little bit more. They ain't that dirty. I may even wear a shirt again, probably. But I'm telling you right now, the Saints is going to win 31-16. Then the only way that the Bears is going to get 16 is going to be late. It's going to be like, it's almost going to be like the Packers and Bears rewind, okay? Because I'm telling you right now, Trubisky, he can't hit me, okay? That man is about to be out of the league or a backup for sure. Trust and believe. Watch my words. Saints win. Simple game, easy game. Let's move on to the next, man.
So, Babe, you can lead with this one. The Steelers.
Okay.
This is a sleeper to me.
Talk to him, babe.
This is really a sleeper to me. All right.
Wake them up.
One game, the first game, they got dogged. The Browns got dogged. The second game, they didn't play with Big Ben. They played with Rudolph, the no red nose. He ain't even a reindeer. He's just Rudolph.
They almost won that game, though.
No. Okay, come on. His name is Rudolph, a.k.a. just call him Ralph. He's a grocery store right now. That's what he is. The man is a horrible quarterback. I'm telling you right now, the man, I don't even know how he's still in the league playing quarterback. Sometimes I don't understand what the politics is. There's a lot of people out there that can probably throw the ball better than him. I'm telling you right now, but they got Big Ben back. And I don't really like Big Ben because Big Ben, even though he finds ways to win games, he don't got the same Big Ben that he used to have. I think that if Cleveland can put pressure on Big Ben, make him rattle, make him throw the ball off the run, they have a chance. But I think that chance is slim to none. Even though I like Baker, I do like Baker. He made that game against the Cleveland and Pittsburgh too close. He was supposed to blow them out. You're supposed to blow them out. He let it come down to a 2-point conversion. That showed me a lot from Baker. That, they're only going to get better. They're only going to put up more points with Big Ben back there. And y'all let Rudolph, a.k.a. Ralph, the grocery store, put up 22? Y'all let that man put up 22? So y'all know what Big Ben about to do. He about to run the boys crazy, even though it's going to be a close game first half. Watch. Guarantee it's going to be a battle of the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a battle of the line of scrimmage. Both the Cleveland Browns are going to try to run the ball with my man Hunt and my man Chugs. They're going to try to get that run game established. But when Pittsburgh take that away, that's when Bake ain't going to have a day. And I love Bake. I love him. He had a great year. He got Cleveland to the playoffs. But I think that that's what I got. And I'm going with it. And I think that the Steelers is going to beat the Browns. And they're going to beat the Browns 27-20. It's going to be a close game. Not going to be a blowout. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to beat the Browns 27-20. That's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going with.
All right. I like that.
That was nice.
As you said, Steelers got rid of them boys the first time.
Yes.
And the second game, I'm like, this is the Browns' opportunity to go ahead and blow the Steelers up, get them up out of here.
Yes.
You feel me? Establish yourself. And they couldn't. They let my guy Rudolph, the non-red-nosed reindeer,
yes,
look good.
Look great.
He looked good. And, I think pre-show DP had said something about the Browns secondary. He said, I think he mentioned that they was playing good or the defense was playing well. Well, look, all I know is Rudolph was out here bombs over Baghdad with Claypool and Deontay Johnson and all that kind of good stuff. So my keys to the game was simple. Attack downfield. I'm talking aerial assault. I'm talking, you feel me, Tuskegee Airmen attack. That's what I'm looking at. Just go for it all.
Okay.
And slow down their run game.
Go for it all.
Go for it all. Control the run game. Because, look, the Browns was stifled. TJ Watt didn't play. You feel me? The Steelers didn't even play some dogs on their defense. And the Browns still really couldn't get things going. So I can't, on top of all that, no Kevin Stefanski. People need to understand. Like,
the head man's out.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm just saying the head man is out. Like,
yeah, man. So when you missing your head coach and your play caller, it's hard to overcome all that. Like the OC doesn't call the plays, and he's the one calling the plays now. But your head coach is the guy that keeps the temperament of the team good. So you ain't got that guy for the playoff game. At first, I had to score 2017. And then I thought about it. I got 27-17.
Okay.
27-17, black and gold.
Black and gold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What you got, DP?
Well, my initial thought was I was just going to come out and say they're going to win this for Stefanski. That's what I was going to open up and say.
That was going to be your starting point right there.
That was going to be my starting point. But you know what? I said, let me not say that. Because what's going to happen here is you have somebody who might end up changing the whole identity of that offense. Like with Stefanski not being there, you have another mind. And granted, I'm sure, he was able to assist with the play calling, with the call sheet and all those things. But at the end of the day, if I'm the head coach and you're the DC, I usually call the plays. I call the plays differently than you. Regardless if I give you this call sheet, this call sheet, we're going to agree on these calls, but you might not call the same things in those same similar situations. You know what I'm saying? So in the coaching aspect, as you said, with Stefanski being that person that maintains the temperament of the team, it's going to be hard on them. It'll get him a morale boost. Like, we got to win this for coach. He got COVID. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. But in the same token, the Steelers were without some dogs, as you said. Big Ben is on some I refuse to lose. That wide receiving core, I think it's going to be a heavy dose of Claypool, Deontay Johnson. I think they'll finally get back to using Juju as a gadget guy, hitting him on some jet sweeps, reverse or two, you know what I mean, have him run the rock. And then what I will say is that of the Browns defense, the D-line has played the best and most consistent the whole year. So it's going to take them, filling their gaps, playing some integrity, sound football down there. But in the end, I think it just might end up being an overpowered situation and they're going to end up folding. So I got the Steelers getting this one. And I'm going to go with a nice 28-13. Somebody's going to miss a field goal.
Okay. It's not bad.
Well, the game of the week.
Yeah, this is the game.
Game of the weekend, at least.
This is the game of the week.
This the one. Yeah, this the one.
This is
game of the weekend. So, Dustin, DP, my brother, what is your Titans, Ravens rematch prediction? It's the rematch, punk. You think I'm gonna just let you beat up my brother and get away with it?
This was a tough one to break down, dog. This was a tough one to break down because it's really the tale of offense versus defense. And I'm talking Ravens offense versus Titans defense and Ravens defense versus Titans offense. Because the Titans defense ain't really it. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. They secondary gives up too many big plays. They allow for too many yards on the ground consistently. And they end up losing or being in a lot of close games that they shouldn't necessarily be in. Right. So really, in order for them to have a chance to win, it's going to come down to that Ravens defense looking like the same way they did when they allowed the Steelers to run up and down them when they had that Wednesday game a few weeks back. Hopefully they was watching that film and was able to incorporate some of those run plays. But I think the Ravens offense is just they just got too many weapons, and then with Lamar back there, it's just one of them situations where you could spy him, you could play zone. Please don't play man, because that's just going to, it's going to create a lot of mismatches. I see Dez Bryant having a little bit more of an impact on this game.
Dez Bryant.
Dez Bryant. That man doing his homework. That man said, right. Or what?
I see he scored in the last, he scored twice in the last 2 weeks, I believe. So I see him having an opportunity to play a bigger role in this particular game, just for the simple fact that the Titans are going to key in on Lamar. But Lamar has shown us time and time again that it really don't matter what you do to him. I will say that history shows it's been tough for him to win games through the air. So depending on how the Titans scheme up their defense and put pressure on them, it could get a little tricky. But overall, I see the Ravens going ahead and handling business. It's going to be close. I'm going to say 21-28.
That's not bad.
It's either you getting an ass whoop or you keeping it close with DP. Man is consistent. I love it, man. My brother is consistent.
I love it. You want to take it or you want me to go?
You go ahead and go, babe. Go ahead and enlighten the masses.
This was probably one of the hardest picks for me.
Okay.
For sure.
This is probably one of the closest games. Like, both got the same record. Both got similar styles of how they've been playing, where they can be hot, then they can be cold. But I think it's going to be a battle of Lamar Jackson versus D. Henry. I think those are going to be the defining factors.
Yeah, I can see that.
I feel like these two players, we saw what happened last time. Derrick Henry made history against the Baltimore Ravens defense. He made everybody like Pop Warner players, and he was that one player that shouldn't have been playing on the damn field, and he was stiff arming, running people over, and 10 to 15 people try to tackle one person, and you can't even have 10 to 15 people on the field at one time. So, I think this is a revenge game for Lamar Jackson, though. This is the biggest game of his career. What I mean by this is I'm saying he hasn't won a game in the playoffs. He lost to the Chargers. He lost to Tennessee at home. This is the game right here where either he going to catapult his career or they going to say, yo, he's just a regular season quarterback. When it comes to big games, he don't show up in big time moments. And we know Derrick Henry can do it. Derrick Henry's shown it, proved it. They should have beat the Kansas City Chiefs, but they took away their run game, and then Tannehill wasn't that real. But he's been playing really, really well this year, even though they've been on a teeter. Like the Tennessee Titans have been on a teeter of losing some games. They find some games where they blow them out, or it's a close one. And I saw something from Tennessee on this past week when they came back and beat the Texans. Even though I know you're saying the Texans, come on, bro, the Texans. But they could have folded in that game. They could have folded, but they did. They made a play. Tannehill made a play to give them a chance to win the game with a last-second field goal. But I think Lamar Jackson, I think you about to see a different Lamar Jackson. I think this is probably going to be the best Lamar Jackson this Sunday. And I think the Ravens defense got a chip on their back. They remember what D. Henry did to him, and if they don't, then they don't even need to suit up no pads. They don't even need to put up no helmets ever again in the NFL. If you let this man D. Henry run for 200 yards on you again in the playoffs, y'all don't even need to be in the NFL. But I think Lamar Jackson's going to win a close one, 24-21. I love what Lamar Jackson been doing in these past 4 or 5 weeks. The game that catapulted Lamar Jackson's season was the game against the Browns when he went into the locker room and everybody thought he had to doodle, but he was quote unquote hurt. Ever since he came back, he must have doodled all that nonsense and been balling ever since. So I'm going to say Lamar Jackson is going to win a very, very close game against the Tennessee Titans, 24-21. That's what I'm going with.
I love it.
Woo!
I love it.
Boy, that was a lot between both of
it.
y'all. That was a lot.
I love it.
Yeah.
So you guys gave some really great points, both teams and what it exactly. So I'm the type of person that like to tell a quick story. Earlier this year, Ravens played the Titans. And before the game, the Titans was all in their video, all at their studio, stumping on their field. And I'm like, damn, when you let a team show up and stump all on your mascot, your logo, that's supposed to mean something. You feel me? Like, that's disrespectful to come to my house and stump on my logo before the game. They had a team meeting on your logo. That is the ultimate sign of disrespect. And so I'm like, oh, the Ravens go get all of it in there. And what happened? They lost. That's exactly what happened. They went out there and took an L in overtime. And then they didn't even take the regular overtime L. They let Derrick Henry go score. So when you didn't get a chance to respond, it was just they gave them the ball, they went down there and scored and sent y'all home while y'all was at home. So first they walked into y'all home last January, dumped y'all and sent y'all home. Then they walked into y'all home in October, dumped y'all and sent y'all home. Me, I'm going to go with the narrative. Titans will send that ass home again. This time they ain't back to Baltimore because the Titans going to win this game in Tennessee. Me, Henry. Please crown King Henry. Say art that now, Henry. You feel me? You know, that's how I look at it. I feel what's going to happen is Henry's going to get a chance to eat. And what's going to be the mix-up is watch it, Titans play action on early downs. I feel like we have to understand that the Titans, if the Titans really want to win this game, they can't be so Titan football. They got to do something a little different. And A.J. Brown is a true number one receiver in this league. Mr. Peters is going to have a deck because A.J. Brown ready to eat. So I say early down play action, a lot of Henry, and they're going to force Lamar to beat them with their arm. And because I ain't seen it, I don't plan on watching it this Sunday. Lamar is not winning the game when it's on. If they do happen to win, it'd be because of his legs. But because Lamar, to me, ain't won a game that matters against a good team, I can't give him this win. If he does, kudos. But I don't see it. I got the Titans 31-27.
Close game.
That's the first same game we've had picked, babe. First one.
First one. I told you it was going to be tough. That was a tough one. I went with Lamar. I gotta have faith in a black quarterback. I want him to do well, man. I think this is going to be the narrative is set. He's lost every time he played them. He's got thumped and he's got beat. You look. If you get bullied by bully, eventually you're gonna stand up to the bully and be like, I'm gonna hit you in the face. And I'm gonna hit you so hard, you're gonna remember me to not ever come and disrespect me. They disrespect them. What the heck? Y'all heard that? Did y'all hear that? What was that? I don't know.
Was it like a little flutter? I heard that.
Titans, y'all better leave me alone, man. I ain't do nothing bad. What y'all mean? I'll just let y'all know. This is the defining game for Lamar Jackson. Like he
100%.
He's got to do it, and so we're gonna find out. But I know we gonna be doing it week to week, me and Reasons. But let's say we're gonna let DP finish out who you think gonna win, who's gonna get to the Super Bowl, and we're gonna bring you back after the Super Bowl to see if you was right.
Thank you.
To see if you was right. So based off the picks, because you got the Ravens winning. So if the Ravens win, what are the Ravens? What are the Ravens? Anybody know?
The 6th seed.
So who's the 7th seed?
Hold up. Let me see. Let me do.
All right, here we go. I think I got it.
Let me check my Palm Pilot.
Yeah, let me see. All right, here we go. So we got all right, for the 7th seed is the Colts. So if the Bills beat the Colts and you said the Steelers beat the Browns, then you're gonna have possibly 2 versus 3, and then
1 versus 4.
1 versus 1 versus 5. He got Baltimore. So he got it'd be Chiefs versus Baltimore and Buffalo versus the Steelers. Who you got those?
Chiefs in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
And Buffalo versus Steelers.
Yep.
No analysis.
Buffalo gonna beat.
You just need your
no analysis. Buffalo gonna beat the Steelers.
Okay.
The Chiefs gonna beat Baltimore.
Okay.
So it's gonna end up being Chiefs Buffalo.
Okay.
Buffalo gonna beat the Chiefs.
Okay.
Yeah, Buffalo gonna beat the Chiefs. So yeah, what's next up on the flip side?
NFC. We got Green Bay. Okay, so you got the Saints is going to play the Green Bay is going to play the Rams, and the Saints are going to play Tampa Bay.
Packers for sure gonna beat the Rams.
Wait. No, I completely messed that up. You got the football team beating Tampa Bay. Hold on. Let me get that right. So the Saints are going to play the football team, and the Rams are going to play the Packers.
Yeah. So Packers getting the dub. Saints getting the dub. Packers beat the Saints. We got Packers, Buffalo in the Super Bowl.
Ooh, okay.
So DP. You are the first.
Talk to me.
You are the first contestant in this year's Talk That Talk Super Bowl Mania.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going to happen is we're going to put out a poll or things and have everybody chime in, vote of their Super Bowl predictions. Once we get to the Super Bowl, we're going to see who has made the correct prediction. If people are tied with their predictions as far as who's going to make it, they also got to pick a winner. So before we get out, we're going to get you pick a winner. But if you got the same team as somebody else, you got to put in a final score. The person closer to the final score will be the first winner of the Talk That Talk Super Bowl Mania thing that we got going on. Contest. Yeah. Contest. You'll be sent a gift from Talk That Talk podcast.
Fact.
Okay.
Who's your winner and what will be your score?
So Packers and Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
My winner is gonna be Go Pack Go. The score is gonna be 28-23.
Okay.
28-23.
Okay.
28-23.
28-23. I love it.
Green Bay, 28-23. I like it. I like it. We're going to see, man. You may be able to come onto the show and even have your gift on the show.
Yeah.
I'm for all that.
If you are correct, though, you gotta be right. You're gonna come on the show, but you may not have a gift.
I may not have a gift, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. You know, this could be my gift. My presence, you know, will be a gift enough.
That is, man. We love to have you. We love having you on the show today, man. Hey, tell the people what they can reach at, DP.
Twitter, we got D_Presley14, IG DPresley14. Tap in with me on Friday nights on the Sports Talk with Mark and DP. Download the Good News Radio app. You can find us on there 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. Come chop it up with your boy. Listen in. Appreciate y'all having me. Always a pleasure linking up with y'all boys, man. Love y'all. Y'all got a great platform going here. That's it.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Well, anything you want to say, Mr. Daddy Reasons? That's what I'm gonna call you from here on. I don't care what alter ego name you got. I'm calling you Daddy Reasons right now. All right, Daddy Reasons. What's up?
And it's
man?
not a Y, it's an I.
Yeah.
Daddy Reasons.
Facts. So, what you got to say before we get up out of here, man?
Just man, playoff football here. So it's going to be a good weekend, man. This is that time of the year, man, where you get to sit back and just watch the best of the best play against each other. Right. So, you know me, man, I'm just tapped into this weekend, man. Hopefully I get my son to act right. He can sit down and watch some football. And you feel me, continue to check us out. You feel me, Talk Dat Talk Podcast. Again, we're available on Spotify and a few other sites. Google Podcasts also. And so, tap in with your boys and, tap in to make sure, hey, we're going to send out some polls and all that stuff for our Super Bowl Mania contest.
Keep it locked.
Because we got a cool little gift for the winner at the end of the Super Bowl run.
Yeah, man. Great show today, y'all. Always good to do shows and do stuff with your brothers. And maybe y'all can feel like how I felt today being the first ever NFL pick season, whatever we want to call that, Talk That Talk champion. Maybe you can be the playoff and Super Bowl Mania contest first ever winner. You can be the first. You know what I mean? Look at Reed right now. He's hurting right now. He's hurting right now. And it's all good, It's all love. I can't wait to get my mail. But y'all stay safe. Y'all stay blessed. We know this world is going through a whole bunch of chaotic stuff. But shout out, before we get up out of here, shout out to Trump for finally doing what he's supposed to do a long time ago and really understanding the bigger picture. Maybe his politics is for him to come back to be able to compete when he come back, because we all know he's going to run again in 4 years. But for him to say what he said today, I want to give him kudos to that, because it took a lot of guts to do that, especially after all the stuff and scrutiny, because he didn't have to. He could have been like, I don't get down.
He said something today?
Yeah, he said something today. He dropped the press guy. He said that it's time for us to heal as a nation and to come together as one. And I know it could be fluff, but I do want to give credit when credit is due, even though he started the whole nonsense yesterday at the Capitol. But y'all stay safe. Y'all stay blessed out there. Hey, 2 weeks, we're going to have a new president. We're going to have a new vision, probably. Who knows? We don't know. But I'm saying hopeful, man. But y'all always remember to talk that talk. We love y'all. Peace.